Okay, here we are. It's the second week of March. We're looking back at March's first week's numbers. And the first thing that we can see that's an exciting piece of data is that we have 1,050 listings that came to the market in the first week of March for this month. And those listings had a median list price of $539,000. And so a couple things going on there. The median list price of the overall market, I was looking at that, and that's right now of the overall market's $570,000. And of those properties that are selling each month, last month it was $490,000 was its median list price. So there's a big gap between sellers that are having their properties go under contract and what list price or median list price they're around, and then the other sellers, those that are still left on the market, are at $570,000. That's an $80,000, or it's an $80,000 gap from $490 to $570. But each week, what we're seeing is as sellers are coming to the market, they're tending to crunch that numbers from where it was earlier in the year. We're starting to see a little bit of a decrease, but actually a bump up from the last couple of weeks. And so certainly that 539, the median list price of those 1,050 properties that were listed last week, is $31,000 below the overall median price, which suggests that maybe some of the sellers that are coming to the market are getting a little more price sensitive, price conscious as they're putting their list prices on those properties. That's something that we're going to watch in these next couple of weeks. When we jump over to demand and look at the under contracts last week, another great number, 692 units go under contract last week. That number's the highest it's been since, well, any week in 2026. And if we look back at our 2025 numbers, when's the last time we had nearly 700 units go under contract in a given week? And so we had back in May, there was a 665, there was a 673 in March. We haven't seen as close to 700 units. We're going all the way back. Yeah. There was no week in 2025 where 690 under contracted units showed. So that's a good sign for demand as we start the new year. What's happened in the first week of March is a sign that high season may be better in 2026 by a margin than it was in 2025. That's something to keep watching. Interesting, the median list price for the last 3 weeks at 475, 470 and 470 of those properties that are under contract suggests that prices are going to start going down in the weeks or in the months ahead. However, we're going to have a surprise when we report the February numbers that the median list price actually jumped from January to February. The sold units. Well, the end of the month, last week, the 222 to 228 week, we always know the last week of the month it has a spike in activity. So if we look at that 526, while it's down over 100 units from last week, it's up almost 100 units and 50 units, respectively, from the 2 weeks before that last week of the month. So again, another suggestion that the slowdown that happened in the fourth quarter is starting to work its way out. And as we see the closed units in the weeks and months ahead, we're going to see numbers that are more reflective of the demand and the activity that exists in the market, not the hangover that we had from the end of the fourth quarter in 2025. So good week, signs that demand is picking up as we were hopeful. High season may be better. We just got to keep our eyes peeled and keep abreast of this because the market is fluctuating quickly and up and down with the war and all the other things going on. And so it's going to just require a keen eye in these weeks ahead.